everyone, this is my chemistry channel. In this video tutorial we are going to discuss about the proteins which are used to transport and store the iron in the living system. Okay, so there are some metals that are used to store iron and transport the iron in living system, not only in humans and all other higher animals also. Okay, there are three proteins called ferritin, hemosiderin and transferrin. Among these three, the ferritin and hemosiderin are very important to store the iron. They are iron storing proteins, and the transferrin is used to transfer the iron in the living system. Okay, so this is iron transferring protein. Okay, and what is the role of iron in the living system? So iron is a very essential and very important mineral in the living system. It's around 2 to 5 milligram of iron is gram of iron is not milligram, gram of iron is needed for the living system. And if you take human or any living system, the blood is contains hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin has iron as one of the part in the hemoglobin. Okay, so the hemoglobin structure was stabilized by the presence of central ion, active ion called Fe2+. So this Fe2+ hold the porphyrin rings very strongly and gives the stability to the hemoglobin structure. Okay, so if the excess of iron is present in the living system, it can be stored in somewhere. Otherwise, it will collapse the hemoglobin structure and which lead to some other disease called siderosis. So the overload of iron in the human system or living system which leads to the siderosis disease. So to avoid this, there are some proteins are uptaking the excess of iron and storing into the protein. Okay, so that is ferritin and hemosiderin, the protein which is used to excess iron in the body. Okay. And first see ferritin. Ferritin is it was in the humans and other higher animals contain ferritin and hemosiderin. Okay, so the human and other animals contains both ferritin and hemosiderin. Okay, and ferritin is a globular protein complex. It's a macro protein complex. Okay, consisting of 24 peptide or protein chains. So this 24 peptide and protein chains is made up of nearly 175 amino acids are combined together. Okay, and form a protein coat like structure on the surface of this ferritin protein. Okay, then the iron core of ferritin contains about 45,000 of iron Fe3 ions and hydroxyl group as well as oxo and phosphate ligands. So this ferritin, in the ferritin structure, it contains nearly 45,000 of iron Fe3 ions as well as some hydroxyl groups as well as oxo and phosphate ligands inside the iron core. So inside the sphere there are nearly 2,000 to 4,500 iron can be stored. So which has been stored as iron 3+ and not iron 2+. Okay. And it is incorporated in the mineral ferric hydrate FeOH8 and FeOH2O4 PO4. It's attached to the inner wall of the sphere. Okay, first if you look at the structure you can understand. Okay, the phosphate groups in the inner iron core act as a terminators and links the group to the protein chain. Okay, and just drawn the structure of this ferritin. The inner core, this is the inner core, this is called ferritin part. So the inner core contains Fe3 and as well as oxo and phosphate groups inside the inner core. And the outer core of this ferritin is called apoprotein. So the apoprotein is without iron 3+. So inner core contains Fe3. So the Fe3 part is called ferritin. So without Fe3 the part is called apoferritin. So apoferritin means the protein part which are without Fe3+. So it was present outer side of the core. Okay, on this outer side of the core there are some hydrophilic channels. There are 8 hydrophilic channels and 6 hydrophobic parts. Okay, so this inner core nearly having 45,000 of iron 3 unit. Iron 3. So the inner core can accommodate nearly 45,000 of iron. So this inner core have a spherical halos nearly 2,000 to 4,500. So this sphere can accommodate nearly 45,000 of iron atoms can be stored inside the ferritin molecule. So this is called inner core. So the inner core was covered by the outer part called apoprotein. So this is called protein coat. Okay. So this apoprotein is a different from ferritin, because ferritin is a Fe3, contains Fe3, and apoferritin is not Fe3. Okay. So when the Fe2 gets incorporated, that is Fe2 from the blood as entered through the hydrophilic channels and enter the inner core of the ferritin, then Fe2 gets converted into Fe3 and stored in this ferritin. Okay. And if you see that the ferritin is found in the liver, spleen and bone marrow of the human system. Okay. And you know that bone marrow is the important site for the production of RBC, red blood cells. So bone marrow is very rich in the ferritin. Okay. And this ferritin is a water soluble crystalline substance, and it contains nearly 8 hydrophilic and 6 hydrophobic channels. So these are the hydrophilic channels, which is a way to transfer the Fe2 to Fe3. So Fe2 molecules get transferred from blood and to the ferritin structure. So as soon as it enters the ferritin part, it get oxidized. Fe2 get oxidized to Fe3. Okay, so this Fe2 get oxidized to Fe3 with the help of ferroxidase enzyme. Okay, and in the protein structure, Fe3 ions enter through hydrophilic channels to protein core and leaves the hydrophobic parts. As I told you already, the iron from the bloodstream, the excess iron from the blood, it's transported through this hydrophilic channels. So this hydrophilic channels gives the way to Fe2, and Fe2 gets converted to Fe3 by the ferroxidase enzyme and stored in the ferritin molecule. Okay, and then this ferritin storing this Fe3, whenever the body needed iron atom, so it again releases the Fe3, and then Fe3 get reduced to Fe2 and again sent to the bloodstream. Okay. Okay, so when the ferritin takes to the mass bias spectroscopy, it reveals that the ferritin contains ferritin molecule Fe3s plus 3 oxidation state. Okay, so this Fe3 plus surrounded by the 6 oxygen atoms with a distance of 195 pm. Okay, and Fe3 plus having a distance of 300 pm, there are some hydroxyl ions also present in the unit. Okay, so this ferritin is which was in the high spin state and having octahedral arrangements, because it has a perfect octahedral arrangement, because all the bond distance of oxygen with the iron is very similar, so it has perfect octahedral arrangement. Okay, so it was revealed by the mass bias spectroscopy. And if you take the molecular mass of ferritin, the ferritin having a molecular mass of around 18,500. Okay, and the apoferritin, so apoferritin is nothing but without Fe3 plus, it's having a molecular mass of 4,45,000. Okay, so because it's a big macromolecule compared to globular protein compared to this ferritin. Okay, and this is about ferritin. And next we will see hemosiderin. So hemosiderin is another type of protein which is used to store iron. Okay, so the hemosiderin located in the lysosomes, that is present in intercellular membrane. Okay, and it is a water insoluble, and it contains larger proportions of metal oxide. Okay, and compared to ferritin, and hemosiderin can store 35% of iron. So ferritin can store 25% of iron in the ferritin molecule. Okay, and this is about hemosiderin. So both the ferritin and hemosiderin are iron storing proteins. And next we will see transferrin. Okay, and transferrin is protein which is used to transfer the iron when the blood gets needed. Okay, so the transferrin is just otherwise a scavenger of iron. Okay, and this transferrin is a glycoprotein present in the blood plasma. So this transferrin is found in the blood plasma, and transferrin binds Fe3 and transport Fe3 from stomach into bloodstream. So this is the role of transferrin. Okay. So the human and other animals absorb the iron from stomach during the digestion of food. So when the food taken by the human or animals, so the food get digested and which releases the iron. So the released iron absorbed in the stomach. Okay. So this transferrin protein is mainly depends on the pH. Okay. And if you see the role of transferrin, and just I given the schematic mechanism of this transferrin. Here the stomach consists of digested absorbed iron, and this absorbed iron was in the bloodstream, which are containing Fe2. Hemoglobin in blood, hemoglobin is made up of iron 2, which was an acidic in nature and pH having a 7.4 nearly. And this Fe2 in the blood get oxidized by the ceruloplasmin, okay, and oxidized to Fe3. So ceruloplasmin is a copper metalloenzyme, copper containing enzyme. It's a blue copper protein. So this ceruloplasmin having a role of the Fe2 in the blood get oxidized to Fe3. So the excess of iron in the blood that was circulating in the blood, the excess iron, if not is stored, it gets some other disorder like siderosis, as I told you already. So this excess iron get oxidized by the Fe3 ceruloplasmin, and this Fe3 binds by the transferrin. So the transferrin is the protein that binds the excess Fe2, that is after oxidation of Fe3 it binds by the transferrin, and this transferrin transport this Fe3 to bone marrow. Okay, and after binding the transferrin, this Fe3 gets reduced to Fe2. Okay, so the transferrin not able to hold the Fe3 molecule very tightly, so it suddenly reduce the Fe3 to Fe2. So the Fe2 gets reduced and transport to the bone marrow. Okay, and that bone marrow is the site of production of RBC. Then Fe2 which is stored in the ferritin. Okay, and this stored Fe2 is further used to synthesize iron compounds such as hemoglobin, myoglobin, and cytochromes. Okay, so these are the overall role of transferrin in the living system. Okay. It was a cyclic process, such as if you take this RBC, red blood cells, okay, after 16 weeks this RBC get died. Okay, so the RBC get died, so it get decomposed. So RBC contains red blood cells which having the hemoglobin part. So the hemoglobin get decomposed in the bloodstream. So the hemoglobin contains Fe2. As we know it, the hemoglobin contains Fe2. This Fe2 is oxidized by Fe3. That is, this oxidation is carried out by the ceruloplasmin, copper containing enzyme, blue copper protein, and this Fe3 binds transferrin, and it again after binds with the transferrin, the Fe3 suddenly get reduced to Fe2. Again this Fe2 was stored in the ferritin. So it was again cyclic mechanism. Okay. So the transferrin, the role of transferrin is the mainly which is transfer the Fe3 to Fe3 plus, and after binding to Fe3 plus it's convert the Fe3 to Fe2 plus, and Fe2 plus stored in the ferritin. So it transferring and transferring the Fe3 to ferritin protein. Okay, and this transferrin have the molecular mass of around 80,000. Okay, and if we see the structure, this transferrin having the iron in the +3, which was in the I spin state, which having the distorted octahedral arrangement. Okay, here there are donor atoms, nitrogen, which is from histidine residue. So this iron is connected with imidazole ring of histidine residue, and having the 2 thyroxine oxygen donor atoms and 1 oxygen from other amino acid called aspartate, and another coordination site is either it will linked with carbonates or formates. Okay, so there are 5 coordination site, sorry 6 coordination site, but was it was in the distorted octahedral arrangement. Okay, and this transferrin have 2 types called over-transferrin and lactotransferrin, and this over-transferrin found in the ovum of the females, and the lactotransferrin found in the mother's milk. Okay, and this lactotransferrin is a good antibacterial agent which acts as a good antibacterial agent. This protein protects the infants from several bacterial infections during breastfeeding. Okay, during the breastfeeding of infants, so this lactotransferrin protects the baby from the harmful bacteria. Okay, so it acts as a good antibacterial agent. Okay, and finally I conclude that the ferritin and the hemosiderin, which is proteins, are used to store the iron, and the transferrin, the protein which is transfer of iron to the ferritin. So this is the role of proteins that are involved in the transport and storage of ions. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please like and comment my video, and please subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.